be a podcast. The party leave the Winston chapter of the Carousel Court to fulfill the bounty a Centaur's love. They find a rock cropping on the top of a ridge filled with kobolds and their pet bats. Godfrey stumbles upon a small mushroom-shaped creature who seems to be the benefactor of the bounty. And Livy speaks to the kobolds, finding a statue of a centaur goddess in the center of the stones. After placing an arrow at the foot of the goddess, the statue begins to shimmer, and that's where we find the party.
Hello. Are you there?
Shimmering.
This is very exciting. Sorry.
The shimmering grows and grows, and it shoots a pillar into the sky. And it slowly begins to recede.
We see this, right?
Yeah, you all see that shiny pillar shoot into the sky.
I wonder if this will have negative consequences.
I think as it's shooting up to the sky, Godfrey just slowly takes off his hat so the creature underneath could see it. And as it recedes, he puts the hat back on.
Does anyone else see this?
Livy just slowly takes out his notebook and starts writing.
I don't know. Ziva and Morgus, do you think you're paying attention to the light, or are you paying attention to Godfrey?
To the light. Never saw that. Didn't see a thing.
Yeah. Are we all in the same place now, or are we still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We're
Livy has run
clearing.
around. Livy is not with you all. You all are in a green space next to where the center of the stone outcropping is.
Okay. I think Morgus is probably going to trot forward to get an eye on where Livy's at and dismiss Bitsy, who was on Livy's shoulder the whole time, just into nothing.
Bitsy deserves better than that.
Livy, you watch as the pillar of light that shoots towards the sky begins to disappear and dissipate, and hooves begin to form in front of you. Chestnut brown, furry legs, as the full form of Gaudi slowly begins to take shape where the statue once stood.
Wasn't the statue holding a bow and arrow?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Galdi. It is I'm sorry, I'm just very overwhelmed. Hello.
Still kind of getting her bearings in the world, she shakes out her long chestnut-colored mane and tail and hair. Her cloak fully formed, her arrow still in hand. She kind of just looks around, holding everything, and... Where am I?
You're on, what is this planet called?
God damn it, Libby.
Well, that's a fair
question. It's called... And in that space is the name that I haven't made up yet.
Well, I mean, you can always rescale it. As opposed to the whole planet, you could go smaller. Something we know the name of.
That wasn't the question, though. The question was the planet.
What kind of education are we getting in this freaking utopia? We don't even know what planet we're on. You tell me don't know what the solar system?
Is the planet different than the
Livy,
world? As Livy knows it?
The country.
I mean, Livy would know it. He's a college professor. You would assume he knows what planet
The
he's
continent you all are on is called Rickmonish.
on.
Oh my God.
You're on the continent of Rickmonish. Planet blank.
Let's call it Planet Pleeplu.
You're on Pleeplu. Our glorious name. We're named after the beautiful plant
Soul
that
is
lives in
dying.
the center of the earth.
My soul is dying.
What? What kind of lore is this?
It's canonical now.
I know. Planet Pleeplu.
There's a plant called Pleeplu in the center of the earth.
No.
Pleeplu. Okay. Back into the game.
Can Rickmonish just be one of like Canada's provinces or something?
She puts the bow on her back and the arrow into the quiver that's also located there. What year is it? Where am I? What?
You have been gone for a very long time. First, do you remember me? We met when we were fighting your the snake sister, I believe.
No. I've never fought. I don't have a sister that is... Popping back to the other group, what are you all doing? You start to hear voices coming from the center where Livy has ran.
Morgus is already running forward.
Donfrey will cautiously move towards it.
Wait, when the light goes out, okay, so when the light's happening, okay, when I run into this and I just go for touching this light, can I see that there's like this like statue becoming non-statue in the light, or do I just see, like, how bright is it?
Yes, you can clearly see that the light itself is essentially creating the material form of this humanoid creature.
All right, well, I was just here
eyes.
for a cool looking spotlight, so the second I see that, I'm stopping and probably falling on my ass.
Oh, so there. Let me answer your question. I apologize. It's year 140.
140.
Are you familiar with Mysheria at all?
What?
Are you familiar with the Invisible War?
Have I? Couldn't. Am I in the past?
What is the past? What's the last thing you remember?
You said this is the year 140?
Yes.
140 what?
Are there letters?
It just says 140 on the calendar. Yeah. 145 day 22. I don't. Would Livy know if there was a calendar before this one?
Yes.
Was there?
Yes.
This feels like an actual quiz.
Do I have to roll a history?
Yeah. It's because I'm trying to pull shit up and it's taking me a while, so I'm just giving you vague answers until I get my information.
Oh wait, shit, I forgot to... I have a dice. Well, whatever, that's 15. I have dice. I should roll my dice. I should roll my chunky dice.
So with a 15, Livy, you know that there is another calendar. So this is 140, the 20th of Fievel, the year 140, AW, after the war. And the previous calendar was set up with the same monthly structure, the same month name. It ended at year 1890. And it was the years of prosperity, is what you call them now.
So 1890 was when it ended.
Mm-hmm.
So that was... The war was 140 years ago. I can do math.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is 140 after the war. So I believe it was 1890 when the war ended. I believe your calendar, we'll use a different calendar now, would be 2030. Days of prosperity. Does that sound a little...
At this point, the kobolds come running in. Ah! Princess, Queen, God, yes, 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 yes! And they're all jumping around and they start throwing skins at her and like rabbits. And she's like, what in the hell? And she's
they think
like,
you're
dodging.
They see you as their god.
Okay, all right. And she just kind of like puts her arms up and the kobolds all go quiet. Thank you for your patronage.
Would you like to step out of the cave?
Yes, please.
And take a... I need any help
that's
down.
where I know
No,
you're from.
thank
You
you.
gave me
Okay.
that crown and that severed head.
I'm sorry, child. I do not know what you're... Can I please... And you see, like, her chest is, like, she's taking really short breaths.
Of course. Let's go outside.
At this point, Scylla is standing behind you, Morgus, behind the group. What's her problem?
I'm not entirely sure. Godfrey, do you know what to make of this?
He will...
Godfrey would take off at this point and just go towards everything that's happening.
Oh, yeah, you are all standing right there, like, at the entrance.
I will... Livy will turn... I will explain everything when our... after our guest is a little bit adjusted.
Guys.
Is this our home now? Because I like the other place
Very well.
better.
Godfrey, you hear in your hat, I've never seen her in person.
Godfrey will take off the hat.
Oh, no! And he tries to hide in your hair from Morgus and Scylla. You can't see me.
Do I hear any of this or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Morgus is probably gonna like just glance up. From my height, do I see anything?
You see movement in Godfrey's hair.
I'll check in on that later. Yeah. And then Morgus will just kind of turn back to the spectacle.
Yeah. Galdi strides away from everyone, the cramped inner circle of this rock formation that's deteriorating, and strides towards the edge of the ledge, the ravine here, and just looks out, and a wind seems to catch her mane and hair, and it's not like a Disney princess kind of a beauty. It's a strong, fearless, wise kind of a beauty that even emanates from her from behind, as this centaur stands proudly and strongly with her bow on her back and her quiver of arrows at her side.
I have so many questions for you, but I feel like you equally have a lot of questions for us, and it seems like you're very disoriented. What can I do to help you, to make a little more sense of what's going on?
The sun is starting to set in the sky as she looks out to the west. Dinner would be nice. Do you have any food?
Be able to help with that. If do you have particular dietary restrictions, or do you fit? I'm Marcus.
Hi, Morgus. I'm Galdi.
Do I recognize that name?
I don't think so.
Okay. Very pleased to make your acquaintance.
She turns back around to face everyone. None of this was here the last I remember. She looks at the stones that were formed around her statue.
It has been probably a very long time since you were on the material plane. A lot has changed. I have a question. Is there a time limit on how long you're here? And Livy will show one of the arrows. I put this on what was a statue of you. Did that call you here, or did it free you?
I have been here. I meant to be here. I think that maybe you freed me.
Oh. Well, I'm glad I did that then. I'm glad I was respectful. I'm Livy. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've read a little bit about you, but I feel it is a little bit creepy to just spout out facts, so how about we get you some food? And Morgus is a particularly talented cook. Would you like a...
Well...
I'm not, so he'll be doing that. Is there anything... You're a goddess of the hunt, would you like meat?
I'm fine with anything, thank you. And it's nice to meet you, Livy.
Nice to meet you too.
She looks at you, Godfrey, and notices the rustling in your hair. What's on your head?
Oh, it doesn't like to be seen.
Will you step closer?
Yeah, of course.
And the mushroom, you can feel it like rustling in your hair. And it pulls up a little leaf in front of its eyes and like looks over at Galdi. Is that the Mushroom King? Why are you hiding, friend? And he drops your hair and like you feel him walk to the top of your forehead. Miss, I am not the Mushroom King you knew, but I am the current Mushroom King, yes. So, the Forgotten Ones are still around, huh? Yes. We try to spread the words of wisdom that we learn from our tiny size and ability to hide. Put me down, please.
Godfrey will take him out of his hair and gently place him onto the ground.
Oh, here. And he has this little tiny, like he's like maybe 3 inches tall. He has this tiny little patch on his side, and he begins to pull out like 1 gold piece at a time. Like, and it's a bag of holding, so it like gets bigger as he pulls it out, and then he just starts dropping them. And he drops like 5, and he's like, "Oh, do this later." I am pleased to meet you, miss. And he kind of walks up and like bows very deeply. I have been protecting you just like my family has before. But these kobolds moved in, and I hired this lot to get rid of them. I see. And you still are not hunters, I take it. No, not hunters. Did we keep your knowledge? What's everyone else doing?
Livy's like, all right, we should would it be all right if we made camp here, everyone? Or do we have supplies, or...
Godfrey would already be setting up like a campfire and getting things prepared.
I mean, we've certainly got some supplies. And I would imagine it's rather up to Galdi if we set up camp here. I mean,
You're welcome. I suppose that I don't have ownership of this land anymore. And you see Rashtadon just standing there, like, wringing his leather outfit in his hands. He goes, "Hey, Dan, can I stay? Can I stay the night?" "Yes." And you hear, like, all the kobolds go, "Yeah, yoo-hoo! Slumber party!" Seems like it's fine.
Like Morgus, like, ties his pack just pulls on a strap of his pack or something just a little tighter.
While we're setting up camp, I think this is where we're just like, as we're like eating, slowly try to get closer to the centaur, because she really wants to ask her some questions, but Livy said they need to give him a sec, so I'm trying to respect that.
I would say you will probably give her time as you begin to
like
cook dinner and set up camp. Get your bedroll out, pop your tent if you want. The kobolds and Galdi go for a little hunt. They come back with a few pheasants. And you all begin to enjoy your dinner together. And as you sneak closer and closer, the meal comes to an end. You feel like it's a good time to start asking those questions, Simba.
We're just gonna stare
So,
at them.
would it be okay if we asked you some questions?
Yes, but has this one ever seen a centaur before?
Well, she's seen you before, kind of. And Livy will explain about their dream and how they technically first met.
That's a very powerful... I'm sorry that I wasn't there or don't remember.
She mentioned it might be a different reality. So, which I don't entirely understand. But perhaps that means it was technically a different person, and that's why you don't remember? That's the only thing I can think of.
By the way, you don't need to apologize. I mean, you don't remember. Nah. We can form new memories. Now, I have some other questions for you. So, how did you go from being like a hero to a goddess? Was that like a promotion? And who is the Forbidden Ones? Is that like a different title? How did they get that? Like, is that different than being a hero? Is it better or worse? Like,
yeah, she just listens to you and like smiles and nods. That's a lot of questions.
You also said you used to own land. Did you like inherit that from your parents, like my parents did, or like did that come with the hero kit? Was like a reward for like saving the world? Like,
Didi, let her process.
Oh, well, I was never a hero. I was born into whatever I am. So I don't know what it's like to be a hero. Really.
Huh. Okay.
I'm sorry. Does that displease
Well,
you?
We can't all be born goddesses, I guess.
So,
Do you have, like, heroic acts, though, right? As a goddess? Like, you did the whole light show. Like,
Oh, I think that was just magic.
this is the, Livy will take out the book he has on, like, all the gods and show it to her. This is all we have on you and your family. How accurate would you say this is?
The Mushroom King, like, runs over as quickly as he can, his tiny height, starts jumping up towards the book. Hey, we wrote that! We wrote that!
do you have thumbs?
Oh, fascinating. I found it in a unsavory place.
Baldy takes it from you. Seems mostly accurate, I guess. Depending on whose side of the story you're telling, right, Mushroom King? He, like, plays with his long mustache. Well, we tried to stay objective, you know?
Oh, great Mushroom King.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us how you were sealed away?
Are you talking to me, or are you talking to her?
I don't think you were sealed away.
Someone
I-
said my name.
That
He
was
looks
me.
around.
That was me. I was sorry. Oh, great Mushroom King, Your Majesty.
Yes?
Is that the only? Is your family? Are you prolific writers? Or
Well, we hear things. We're everywhere, right? No one thinks of a lowly mushroom.
fair?
So you
Do you?
We're keepers of libraries throughout the
So you
lands.
did do heroic
Livy's
things.
eyes begin to
What kind
sparkle.
of battle?
Yeah, we should talk more about that.
Yes, but first, sorry, can you, what do you remember how you were sealed away?
Going to resolve to never cook with mushrooms again.
I remember a battle. I remember notching an arrow to a foe. And then I remember the light and you all.
What year was this war?
I think it was around 1765.
Were the monsters you were fighting, the things you were fighting, were they invisible?
Oh no. No. They were very much real.
What did they look like?
Invisible are two different things, right?
I'm sorry, young one.
We're not saying they were imaginary.
Invisible and imaginary are two very different things, yes.
What did they look like? What were they?
They looked like you and I.
Who were they?
The champions of others.
So you fought heroes?
I guess so, yes.
Were they did you fight mortals?
No, never.
Were you fighting for a cause or for survival?
It all got kind of confusing in the end, honestly.
Did you fight infernal beings?
Sometimes. Anchor is an all-in-one podcasting platform that allows you to record, edit, add music, publish across every platform. It gives you your own website, allows you to customize and brand that website, and honestly, it's all in one place and it's so easy. You literally just drag and drop and drag and place, and it is so easy. I'm not even sure if the podcast would have made it this far if it weren't so quick and convenient. So if you are thinking about starting a podcast or currently have a podcast, why not switch to Anchor? It's a all-in-one free podcasting platform, and all you have to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Seriously, download the app, go to anchor.fm, and get started.
Well,
What are you going to do now?
the words from my mouth got free.
I think I might try to find my father.
If I'm so there's a legend about a woman named Mysheria who descended upon the earth.
Yes.
It's said that someone helped her and she ended the invisible war on the top of a mountain. And if you were to go to that mountain, you would see a giant statue frozen. Might this frozen statue, how big were your parents or your other siblings?
Depends on the magic, the person. That doesn't really surprise me about my Sharia.
What do you know about Mysheria? We know basically nothing.
She's a woman who oh geez.
I don't mean to rush. It's just I've been studying my entire life about the Invisible War and trying to figure out who this person was.
What is the Invisible War?
I believe it was the war you were probably fighting. We couldn't see the combatants. At least that's what history tells us. They were just this invisible thing that destroyed lands. And that's what we call the war.
We weren't fighting here. We were fighting
What?
up or down, depending on the battle. It's possible the ripples were felt here.
Was this a battle of gods?
As I said, in a way. It's very hard to explain, and judging by your timeline, I feel as though I missed a lot of it.
Yes, but could you tell me just a little bit more about Mysheria, please?
She's tall, cinnamon skin, dark brown hair. Always found her in golden armor, long sword in hand.
Hey, I have a long sword, and I'm tall, and I have brown hair.
Yes.
Was she immortal? Mysheria.
I have seen gods die. And you see a look of sadness really, flash through her. Does anyone happen to have any tea?
You know, it's interesting you say that. I found this very interesting little blend. And Morgus will get out some of the tea he brought from Weaver's cupboard.
Wow. If you wouldn't mind, I would love a cup.
Absolutely. Do you have a particular, short of the tea itself, is there a certain additive you like?
No, I just think I need some chamomile or skullcap.
All right. Marcus will set to boiling the water and making the tea.
My Sharia is not my direct family, although you would say we are related. And she and I had a tumultuous relationship.
But she's not alive, right? She was real?
No, she was very much real. Or is, I guess. Maybe.
Do you want to... You said you had a tumultuous relationship.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about her from, Would that make you comfortable, or...
She struggled with her morals. She could become flippant. It really tried our relationship and the relationship with my siblings. Most of them despised her. You would also say that my Sharia might be new blood.
She was the youngest one. Or was she more like a cousin?
Here. What? Let me dig something out. This might help. And the Mushroom King, again, through his tiny, tiny pocket, digs out another book.
Livy's eyes sparkle.
He hands it to Livy.
He very gently takes it. Can Livy read this book?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a leather-bound book, the same as the first. And inside the front cover, it says "The Pantheon of the New Gods."
You can see Livy wiping a tear from his eye. Sorry, this is just everything I've ever wanted.
I'm not sure it's complete. I don't have all the information that this one would have since they've been gone for so long, but this is what we have.
Thank you so much. The goddess of redemption.
What?
That's what we called her.
Huh. Why redemption?
I don't know. It seemed to work with all the, hero, end war, save lives.
New blood implies old blood, Galdi.
It does.
To which are you?
Which takes the mug from you of tea. I guess I'm the old in this scenario.
All right.
So what? The old bloods just didn't like the young ones?
I wouldn't say that. Some of my siblings, just like all those that grow in age, can be stuck in their ways. But if it's all right with you, I would love to enjoy my tea and hear your stories. No one wants to hear about me. I don't want to talk about me.
That is objectively true, but I respect you not wanting to talk, and we will happily talk about our adventures.
I should imagine that is patently false, Galdi. Levy disproves that.
But I'm not. You've been through a lot, so
You want to see the flower I got?
I would love to see a flower.
It lost one of its petals on the way because I had to. That doesn't matter. But I got it, and afterwards, you wouldn't believe what happened. There was all of these tiny little dragons, and then Godfrey had to come in, and he's almost as tall as me, and he had to pick me up to run away from all the tiny little dragons. I don't think they're happy. I didn't pick a flower that the dragon was sleeping on. But I just wanted a flower. I was going to make a whole crown. I would have gave you the whole crown, but I only got the one flower.
It's very beautiful. And at that, you all have casual conversation around the campfire. And it gets pretty late as you move into a night of just calm rest. No watches needed. Nothing negative or bad happens. You all wake to sunrise on this ridge, having had a long rest. You pointedly notice that the Mushroom King is gone, and Godfrey, sitting next to you when you wake up, is the remaining 35 gold that was owed you.
Yeah, Livy gets up very fast and looks around for
Baldy seems to be gone as well.
No. Is there a note? Does he see a note?
You do see a note. On the log next to the mug that she was drinking, the tea that Morgus made, just says, "On to my own next adventure. Stay safe. I'm here if you ever need me. Galdi."
Goldie, why? So close. Livy curls up into a ball. He's just so many emotions.
Why are you so upset? She wasn't even that great.
She was the answer to almost 69 years of work.
Morgus will just kind of gently pat / rub Livy's just shoulder, just kind of being there a little bit.
There's just so many emotions. You got so many answers, but also all of the other answers got away.
Keep your chin up. There will always be another opportunity, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm just... Oh, there's so many emotions, and I'm sorry. I feel like I monopolized all of those questions, and
I'm merely glad that you had the wherewithal to know what questions to ask. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that experience. And Morgus will kind of look over at Godfrey and just... Weaver, I imagine, will be very curious about this.
Taken aback. Can't say it's every day you run into a old deity that you never knew existed before a week ago, and then you're suddenly having tea with them in the middle of the night.
Aye.
It's hard to make heads or tails of it.
all right. Well, first, I have the book, The Forgotten. If anyone wants to look at it, we discovered it. And I've made a few references to it previously, but we discovered it when we were looking for Kepa.
Is anyone else even more confused? Like,
That's usually what happens.
they said she was a light, but she's not alive. She's not a god, but now this one said she is a god. I'm confused. Do we trust church? Do we not trust church? Still no one trusts the church, right?
Oh.
But like, is Mashiria maybe?
I mean,
Maybe
if
she
she's
is a hero?
simultaneously alive and not alive, it makes sense that her holy symbol's a cat.
You're gonna have to run that one.
Oh, God.
That's okay. I'm just as confused as you are, Ziba. Didi.
So can we put on maybe she's not a light?
Well,
She is a hero. It's what
All
we look up
right.
to.
Actually, would Livy know what the fuck multiverse even is?
Yeah, everyone, you can give me a history check if you'd like to know if you understand the multiverse.
Nice.
Fucking
So I rolled an
24.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18, so
19?
6.
25.
Cool. Yeah, Morgus and Livy know about the multiverse. Ziba does not. Godfrey does not, out of his own not wanting to know.
So, Morgus,
Nope.
would you like me to explain it, or would you?
Before we dive into it, here's 15 gold, everyone's share of the bounty.
Oh, that's right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Godfrey. Scylla
Godfrey.
says.
I'll take a crack at it if that's all right. I mean, there's Rick Monish where we are. It's sometimes, but in some philosophical circles, known as material plane, and there are other places that are not here, but also here.
Like back home?
I mean, one example is, I believe it's the Underdark. Might not be the Underdark.
What?
Where all those demons come from. All the nasty beasties that we fought before. I could be getting that wrong. But there's just different places that you can't get to on foot or on the road. They're here, but they're not here.
Like you can't touch the dark. So something under the dark's not there, but could be there. If theoretically you could be under dark.
So,
Yes, honestly. That's a pretty... I think you've got it.
right, it's like... Didi, have you ever had any layered food before? Like a lasagna or something like that?
Yeah.
So, we're on the middle layer. Infernal are on the bottom layer. and celestials, like the forgotten gods, are on the top one. And we mortals really can't get to any of the other layers. But the infernals have a difficult time getting to the other layer. They're kind of trapped. And celestials can just kind of do what they want.
Well, that's one model of it. It certainly explains why you can't get from one plane to another on foot, because they're sort of parallel, not overlap. But if you've read Helsexis's theory, it's sort of all in one place. It's just a matter of vibration or wavelength or something like that. It's interesting.
Like stuffed Morgus, as you start to say this, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. 8.
No!
You all watch as Morgus' eyes roll to the back of his head. And he falls to the ground mid-sentence.
Livy rushes over and begins patting his back.
Yeah, give me an athletics check.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, that's big 6.
You don't quite make it as Morgus's short form falls to the ground. Morgus, you feel an encroaching darkness. And you open your eyes and you're in a space surrounded by black hills and mountains. A lava field formed in front of you. And there's nothing but drow, and you look around and you see others in blue and gold robes. Magic is being hurled back and forth from side to side. And something almost like ice, death, comes directly for you. You close your eyes, and when you open them, you see Livy and Godfrey hovering over you again.
I think, just in that moment of that, just feeling that threat, I feel like Morgus would be very reactionary.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would probably throw up. Let me check something.
On to Livy and Godfrey.
just like a shield or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, throwing up a shield. I thought you meant like vomiting.
Yeah, me too.
No, sorry. I cut my thought mid-sentence. That was distinctly less cool than I...
I mean, you rolled a low con save. I mean...
Yeah. I think he'd throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that, just without thinking, I threw out the shield spell.
Yeah.
As a reaction.
Morgus? Morgus, you should do the exercise. Do you
His eyes
what
are
that is?
kind of glowing from dipping into the weave for a moment.
Livy will very hesitantly grab Morgus's handkerchief that he gave him and slide it back over to Morgus and show it to him.
Ooh.
is it. That's a wrap on episode 34. Thank you so much for listening. As always, feel free to join our Patreon to join an awesome community forming there, get access to our Discord, our monthly Q&A sections. We're at $67 per month on our Patreon, the goal of 100 to break even. You'll notice that audio as a whole is better on this episode, and that's because our Patreons helped fund all of us to get mics, specifically Ed, aka Livy, to get a better mic so that we can increase the production quality of the podcast. Find us on all the socials. Intro and outro by Nolan Clock. Everything else by myself, Mr. Musings. Have a great day.